Street Fighter is a 1987 arcade game by Japanese developer and publisher Capcom. Street Fighter was directed by Takashi Nishiyama, who conceived it by adapting the boss battle of his early beat-em-up Kung Fu Master in 1984 for a one-on-one fighting game, and by drawing influence from popular Japanese shonen manga. A port of the TurboGrafx CDX was released as Fighting Street in 1988. Street Fighter 2010, The Final Fight, is a side-scrolling action platform game developed and published by Capcom for the Nintendo Entertainment System in 1990. The player controls Ken, a former martial arts champion who has been given cybernetic implants. The objective of each stage is to destroy designated enemies targets shown before the stage began and obtain the energy required to open a trans-dimensional portal to the next stage. Street Fighter II follows several conventions and rules established by its 1987 predecessor Street Fighter. The player engages opponents in a series of timed one-on-one close-quarter combat matches. In order to win a round, the player must either completely drown the opponent's health bar by landing attacks or have more health left than the opponent when the time runs out. Neither fighters win the round if they have equal health when time expires, or if they simultaneously knock each other out. Super Street Fighter II: The New Challenger is a competitive fighting released as an arcade game in 1993. The HUD and all of the stages and character portraits feature new graphics. The original opening sequence and unused sequence, which has two generic characters fighting in front of crowd, was replaced by an opening featuring lead character Ryu launching a Hadouken projectile toward the Street Fighter Alpha is a 2D arcade fighting game by Capcom originally released in 1995 for the CP System 2 hardware. Street Fighter Alpha revamps the Super Combo system introduced in Street Fighter II Turbo by adding a 3-level Super Combo gauge. Like in Super Turbo, the Super Combo gauge fills as the player performs regular and special techniques. When the gauge reaches level 1 or higher, the player can perform a Super Combo technique.
Fight!
Street Fighter the Movie is a head-to-head fighting game released for the PlayStation 1 and Sega Saturn in 1995. The game is based on the 1994 live-action Street Fighter movie, itself based on Street Fighter series of fighting games, and uses digitized images of the film's cast as the character. While it shares its title with the arcade game Street Fighter, the movie, the home version, is not part of the is not part but a similar game developed on the same.
Round 1, fight!
Street Fighter Alpha 2 is a 1996 fighting game by Capcom. The game retained most of new features introduced in the original Street Fighter Alpha, such as 3-level super combo gauge, alpha counter, air blocking, and fall breaking. The main new feature in the game is the inclusion of the custom combo system, original combo in Japan, which replaced the chain combos from the first Alpha, if the super combo gauge is on level.
Let's go, Bob.
Ready.
Come on, mon ami.
Fight!
Tornado claw.
X-Men vs Street Fighter is a crossover fighting video game developed and published by Capcom in 1996. X-Men vs Street Fighter featured gameplay similar to Street Fighter, but incorporates dual character selection and tag team based combat. Each player selects two characters to compete in one-on-one battle, attempting to defeat opposing team. The players are given the ability to switch between their character at any point during the match.
Round 1, fight!
Street Fighter III New Generation is a fighting game by Capcom originally released for the arcade in 1997. Street Fighter III was produced for the CD-ROM based CP System 3 hardware, which allowed for more elaborate 2D graphics than the CP2 based Street Fighter Alpha games. The gameplay of the original Street Fighter III has several new abilities and features introduced. The game also introduced leap attack, which are small jumping attacks used against crushing opponents.
Ready! Fight!
Shoryuken! 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 Hadouken Fusion! Fire! Hadouken! Shoryuken!
The gameplay and aesthetic of this game remains similar to X-Men vs Street Fighter. Each player selects two characters to compete in a one-on-one tag team fight. Attempting to defeat the opponent team, the game replaced most of the X-Men cast from the previous installment with characters from the Marvel properties. In addition,
Round 1, fight!
released in October 1997, the second installment of Street Fighter III brought back all the characters from the first game and introduced two new ones, Hugo and Orion. Yun and Yang from the first game also became separate characters, with Yang received his unique set of special moves and super arts to distinguish him from Yun. Recurring hidden character Akuma also returned as a select computer-controlled challenger and selectable character. Street Fighter Alpha 3 is a 2D fighting game released by Capcom for the arcade in 1998. Street Fighter 3 Alpha discarded the manual and auto modes from the previous Alpha games and instead offered three different playing styles known as ISMS for the player to choose from. The standard playing style, ISM or Z-ism in Japan, is based on the previous alpha game, in which the player has 3 level super combo gauge with access to several combo moves. Street Fighter Third Strike is a 2D fighting game released by Capcom in 1999 for the arcade, in 2000 for the Dreamcast. Third Strike increased the character roster by adding 5 new characters, notably including Chun-Li. It also added further refinement to the previous gameplay mechanics and rules. All of the returning characters from the previous Street Fighter Game 3 games were given new stages, ending, and voice actor for certain characters, continuing the overall storyline from the first 2 games. Street Fighter EX3 is a 2D head-to-head fighting game with 3D graphics. Developed by Arika and published by Capcom, EX3 features a similar gameplay system to its predecessor EX2, plus with characters being able to pull off similar moves like super combo and meteor combos. The core gameplay is essentially the same as previous installments. However, Street Fighter EX3 features tag battle similar to Tekken Tag Tournament, allowing players to switch between characters and offering greater combination possibilities.
何も言うな。お前の拳が。
はい。
波動拳、波竜拳。波動拳、波動拳。波動拳、波竜拳。
Hyper Street Fighter II is a fighting game by Capcom released for the arcade and the PlayStation 2 in 2003. This game is a modified part of Super Street Fighter II Turbo, in which player can control any version of the main character from the 5 Street Fighter II game series. The stages and ending are exactly the same as in Super Street Fighter II Turbo, although some of the stages restore background elements from the original Street Fighter II that were eliminated from the subsequent installment.
I'm ready for you. Bring it on.
Who will come out on top? Fight!
Shoryuken!
No use! No use!
Shoryuken!
Street Fighter 4 is a 2D .5 fighting game published by Capcom, who also co-developed the game with DIMS in 2008. The game arguably has a similar feel to Super Street Fighter II Turbo, but also includes a few features from Third Strike. As in Street Fighter 3, throwing is performed by pressing both light attack button, while pressing both heavy attack button performs the character personal action or taunt. Pressing both medium attack buttons performs a character focus attack. Dashes and quick standing are also in the game.
Shoryuken!
There lies in the heart of battle.
Well now, let's see if we can't do something about my boredom.
The battle has begun! Fight!
Let's go!
Hadouken! Shoryuken!
Super Street Fighter 4 3D Edition is a fighting video game developed and published by Capcom for the 3DS in 2011. Super Street Fighter 4 3D Edition plays much like the console version Super Street Fighter 4. It plays like a traditional fighting game, utilizing 3D background and 3D character on a 2D plane. It has 2 primary modes, single player and multiplayer. The later mode, which supports both online and local play.
いきまーす
手加減を
戦いは望まぬが邪魔立ていたすまい。容赦はせん。
Let's do this! Fight!
記録を積むのだ。
交代だよ。
Street Fighter Cross Tekken is a crossover fighting game by Capcom released in 2012 for the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360. The core gameplay is similar to that of the Street Fighter series, incorporating elements such as Super Combo and EX Attack. Both sets are character and controlled using in the Street Fighter 6 button system, but Tekken characters are able to perform Tekken style combo using primary 4 button in a similar fashion to the Tekken 4 button system. These fighters can be switched out normally or during certain combos. Street Fighter V is a 2.5D fighting game developed by Capcom and DIMS and released in 2016 for the PlayStation 4. Street Fighter V features a side-scrolling fighting gameplay system. The game also introduced V-Gauge, which based as the player receive attacks and added 3 new skills. The game features 60 characters at launch, with 4 of them being new to the series. A main story mode and 30 additional characters were added through updates and downloadable.
どこかで見た顔だな。いや。
Street Fighter VI is a 2023 fighting game by Capcom. Developed on the re-engine, Street Fighter VI supports cross-platform play and rollback netcode. Street Fighter VI features 3 overarching game modes: Fighting Ground, World Tour, and Battle Hub. Fighting Ground contains local and online versus battle as well as training and arcade mode, all featuring similar 2D fighting gameplay to the previous games in the series, in which two fighters are a variety of attack and special abilities to knock out their opponent.
Sacrifice yourself to the Satsui no Hano!